The Battle of Gazala was a pivotal engagement during the Western Desert Campaign of World War II, fought between May 26 and June 21, 1942, near the town of Gazala in Libya. This battle was a confrontation between the Axis forces, led by Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, and the Allied forces, primarily composed of the British Eighth Army under the command of Lieutenant General Neil Ritchie. The Western Desert Campaign had been a seesaw struggle for control of North Africa. By early 1942, the Axis forces, particularly Rommel's Afrika Korps, aimed to advance toward Egypt and seize the strategic Suez Canal, a vital link for British and Allied shipping. To block this offensive, the British Eighth Army constructed a fortified defensive line extending southward from Gazala to the Bir Hakeim area. The Allied positions consisted of strong, fortified boxes, heavily defended areas, connected by minefields, barbed wire, and artillery positions. The southernmost stronghold, Bir Hakeim, was held by the Free French forces under General Marie-Pierre. Rommel, well aware of the British positions, sought to bypass the Allied defences, encircle their forces, and force their retreat. The battle commenced on May 26, 1942, when Rommel launched his attack. Instead of a frontal assault, he employed a bold maneuver known as the right hook. The Afrika Korps and Italian divisions swung south, bypassing the Gazala line, and struck hard at Bir Hakeim. This encirclement tactic aimed to trap the British forces from the rear. The Free French garrison at Bir Hakeim played a critical role, offering fierce resistance despite being outnumbered. Their tenacity delayed Rommel's forces for over 2 weeks, disrupting his timetable and causing significant Axis casualties. As the battle intensified, the British 1st Armoured Division and other Allied units attempted counterattacks. However, Rommel's forces excelled in mobile warfare. The Afrika Korps, well coordinated and supported by Italian troops, inflicted severe damage on the British armoured units, using superior tactics and the maneuverability of their tanks. One of the pivotal moments of the battle occurred in the so-called Cauldron area, where Rommel's forces became temporarily trapped by Allied counterattacks. However, through exceptional leadership, tactical ingenuity, and supply line management, Rommel managed to turn the tide, forcing the Allies back. By early June 1942, the Free French defenders at Bir Hakeim were forced to withdraw after holding out heroically for 16 days against overwhelming odds. Their resistance, however, bought valuable time for Allied forces to reorganize. With Bir Hakeim lost and the British positions crumbling, Rommel's forces penetrated deep into Allied lines. The British attempted a full-scale retreat, but many units were encircled and destroyed. On June 21, 1942, Rommel captured the key port city of Tobruk, taking over 33,000 British and Commonwealth prisoners and seizing large quantities of supplies. The Battle of Gazala was a decisive Axis victory and one of Rommel's greatest military triumphs. Following his success, Rommel was promoted to Field Marshal by Adolf Hitler. His forces continued their advance toward Egypt, pushing the Allies to the brink of collapse. However, the victory came at a cost. The Afrika Korps and Italian units suffered significant casualties and equipment losses, which would prove difficult to replace. The loss of Tobruk was a severe blow to Allied morale, but it also served as a wake-up call. The defeat led to a reorganization of Allied leadership, with General Bernard Montgomery eventually taking command of the British Eighth Army. The Battle of Gazala showcased Rommel's tactical brilliance and the effectiveness of mobile warfare. However, it also highlighted the logistical challenges that Axis forces would face in North Africa. Despite their victory, the Axis advance ultimately culminated in the defeat at El Alamein later in 1942, marking a turning point in the North African campaign. The courage of the Free French forces at Bir Hakeim became legendary, symbolizing resilience and determination in the face of overwhelming odds.